CPAC really does represent, I think, popular opinions within the conservative Republican Party. And so when they have someone who, like Michael Knowles, who is, I want to put this in terms that is actually accurate. He is a genocidal freak. He is like a actual genocidal fucking
not only is he a gremlin,
freak.
not only is he a gremlin and a lapdog of this Jeremy Boring guy, but he also is like trying to do his own like Matt Walsh shit. Like this is him biting Matt Walsh's aesthetic of like wanting to eradicate trans people. You know what I mean?
Well, so here's a speech that he delivered on the floor of CPAC, the most popular Republican, coming of great minds. Check this out.
There can be no
trigger warning, genocide.
Yeah.
Middle way in dealing with transgenderism. It is all or nothing. If transgenderism is true, if men really can become women, then it's true for everybody of all ages. If transgenderism is false, as it is, if men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs.
He's so self-assured. He thinks he's spitting.
If it is false.
He's such a fucking
Look at his
freak.
face. He's like, I'm killing it right now. I'm killing the speech.
Totally.
Attention-starved
requires
freak.
taking away the rights and customs of so many people.
How the fuck do trans people take away the rights and customs? Like, that's even a stretch. I don't even know what.
Well, they can't make a real argument about anything, so they just have to make shit up. The idea is always the same. It's like the existence of black people in white spaces somehow takes away from white people's rights and privileges, when that's not the case, right? Same with gay people, same with trans people.
Trans people are absorbing our rights, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, the red pill guys do a similar thing when they talk about like women in the workplace, taking away the rights and liberties of men because women and men should not.
Well, no, but at least like there's some coherent argument in that, like, oh, they're replacing men because you have one employment spot. It could be a man or a woman. The trans thing, I don't get. What is he implying? Good women are marrying trans, and I just don't get what's being replaced.
What's being replaced is, I mean, it's the same argument that Nazis used, also directly against trans people as well. Fun fact. That's what a lot of people miss. Yeah, that like Nazis weren't exactly too fond of trans people either. The first famous book burning that everybody knows about was actually a trans medical research that they burned. It was the first famous like documented book burning that the Nazis did. Anyway. But their argument is that trans people existing creates moral degeneracy and perversion, like they are an affront to God. They are destroying social norms and constructs that hold Western civilization together. And that when you see a trans person in society, in public, and you normalize that kind of behavior, more people will become trans. Just like they made the exact same argument about homosexuality. Michael Knowles can say what he's about to say. Let's watch, and then we'll talk about the subsequent lack of backlash.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Yes, so the way I interpret that is that when you're talking about the word eradicate, first of all, invokes like Nazi final solution.
Yeah.
And he says transgenderism, which of course is the property, the intrinsic property of a person. So to me, he's just straight up calling to round up and kill trans people. I mean, that's the way I interpreted it. And I think a lot of people interpreted it that way.
Because that's what he meant.
That's what he said.
He meant we must eradicate transgenderism. There is no peaceful solution to eradicate transgenderism because let's say your goal is to eliminate trans people from public spaces, but trans people are still going to exist regardless. What do? You have to become violent at a certain point. If the state is not violent, then people take matters in their own hands, like the Q nightclub shooting that happened. Obviously, that's kind of what they want to happen regardless, while they're simultaneously utilizing the state legislatures all around the country to eradicate trans people by stopping them from transitioning, by punishing doctors, by punishing trans parents, by punishing trans children, by punishing anyone and everyone who is trans to make medical decisions, like stopping them from making medical decisions that genuinely would improve their lives. And you know, that's it. That's their very clear stated agenda, because there's no peaceful way to like stop trans people from existing.
Right.
You can't do that for anything. You can't just be like, oh yeah, like, you know, we got to eradicate, you know, Jewish mentality from existence is not something you can fucking say.
Because so his defense on this, as people rightly got a little bit freaked out, and again, I remind you that this is said loudly and proudly on the national stage for conservatives to cheering. He insists that he wants to eradicate transgenderism as an ideology, not eradicate trans people. Yeah, it's like saying, I'm going to outlaw Judaism. Not Jews, just Judaism.
Yeah. No,
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
not
totally,
really.
totally. Come on, guys. We're just, you know, we're not doing anything crazy. I mean, come on.
Hulk Hogan with a pussy.
But the entire point of that is that, like,
eradicate Judaism.
It plays along with like the dehumanization, right? Like, he thinks that trans people are an aberration that must be excised, that is not like a real thing. They're just like crazy people that we need to, you know, play the song and dance with. But even if that was the case, then, you know, you could just like leave trans people alone, which, by the way, that isn't the case, for the record, obviously. But even if that was the case, you would just like leave them alone. That's a good idea. And yet that's not enough, because these guys are bullies. That's it. They're weak people.
All the time. They're worse than bullies. I mean, this shocked me really. Like,
I mean, they're genocidal, but I'm saying like I'm using simpler terms so that like people in the margins can comprehend it too. You are not a man if you go after people who are otherwise not able to defend themselves.
Look at this motherfucker's face. This is not photoshopped.
You're a weak person. You are barely a person. You're barely a fucking human being.
Dude, his smile is straight up like there's invisible fingers forcing a joke smile on
he
him.
Looks like the, you know what he looks like? He looks like the fucking like, what is it? Like the claymation stop motion Christmas, the Christmas specials that they used to play, like the elf.
He's an elfish, little elfish.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Santa's little helper.
Are you talking? You're not talking about the Grinch, are you?
No. What is the claymation stop motion like Christmas special with like elves and like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Hermie?
No,
Rankin Bass.
Yeah, Rankin Bass. It's just called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Was he the guy in that who wanted to eradicate reindeers?
No, bro. He looks like one of the elves. Like his face looks. Oh, I guess not really. When they smile, don't they smile?
I'm trying to find. I think I know what you're talking about.
Find a photo of one of these fucking elves smiling, and I promise you.
Wallace? A grimace? Yeah, I see that.
He does have that.
I can't wipe the smile off my face, Batman. It's like I was born to laugh.
He does. He has claymation smile.
Maybe a snow miser. You know, snow miser.
Can we get a snow miser? Here, snow miser, perhaps? Snow miser. Snow miser.
Yeah, claymation smile is like very specific. That's what his smile looks like, a claymation smile.
Oh. Yeah, so what I felt looking at him, listening to this speech, is that this is the face of the American fascist. Like, this is happening in America.
Yeah.
They found their scapegoat. They're willing to be violent to eradicate. And this is what it is. I think their platform is becoming more and more fascist. And they've got their scapegoat now, and they're ready to be violent. And people are on the national stage cheering about eradicating transgenderism. Of course, he is a giant fucking piece of shit, coward. And he's threatening to sue people now, which cracks me up.
Yeah. CPAC speaker calls for transgender people to be eradicated, which is like literally that's what he did, right? And then he said, "This is suable. This is libel. This is slander. Like you will be hearing from my fucking lawyers." It's like, you're such a baby. Like you're such a petulant little cowardly shit.
Here he is. Here he is on Twitter. This is his Twitter account. He says, "This headline is libelous. I demand a retraction." Hey, Michael Knowles, you want to eradicate trans people?
Yeah. There is no like. Oh, he's like, no, I meant transgenderism. It's like, oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the face of American fascism right here. It's happening.
He slapped the ism on it, so it's different. It's not actually like trans people he's talking about. He's talking about transgenderists, whatever the fuck that means. He's like, no, you don't understand. I made up a term, and I'm actually attacking the made up thing that I'm talking about.
We must eradicate.
Don't do it.
Hamburger patties.
Don't do it. Okay.
He scares me. He's actually such a fucking psychotic freak. He's not
even like riding as hard as Matt Walsh is. He's just trying to do the Matt Walsh thing now because he's like not even the third best fucking guy at Daily Wire, which is big as hell, dude. Holy shit.
Bottom tier Daily Wire guy. Do you think Matt Walsh is jealous of all the attention all the transphobia attention?
There's a competition
right
of
now?
who. This is like.
I feel like they are.
This is like Google's versus. I don't know who's another prominent German.
I'm glad that you brought up. I'm glad that you brought up a monopoly when talking about competition. What Google?
No, they're competing amongst each other for the favor.
No, he was trying to say Goebbels. It just came out as Google.
I didn't say Google. I said Goebbels.
You kind of did.
Oh, I thought you said Google.
Yeah.
No, bro. It's like not.
Or it was kind of like Google. Yeah. Google. It was like halfway
they're
between
like,
Google and Goebbels.
So anyway.
Oh, mein Führer, I'm the best transphobe. Please love me the most.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's Himmler.
I want to kill all the trans people more than him. More.
I promise. I'm being so mean. I'm being such a meanie bobini.
Now, please, Benny boy, put on the strap on. Put on the cock sleeve.
Oh.
Your cock is too small to penetrate me.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Rolling Stone updated their headline after being threatened with a lawsuit. They said, CPAC speaker calls for eradication of transgenderism and somehow claims he's not calling for elimination of transgender people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Also love that they didn't use his name in the headline. Kind of fire. And also it's under the category of evil. Here's Michael Knowles saying that I'm pleased to see the Daily Beast lawyers scrambled to make them stealth edit their defamatory headline about me. Unfortunately, this tweak does not constitute a retraction of the article, which remains libelous. Michael Knowles says transgender must be eradicated. This is genocidal.
I mean, it is. It is genocidal. I never said that.
Just own it, dude. Just own your shit. Why is he being such a baby about it?
He can't because it's like not fully institutionalized yet. It's the same attitude that racist people have when you ask Nazis, they won't say that they're Nazis until they reach that final point. They'll just say like, "Oh, I'm a white identitarian," or "I'm just trying to defend white people. I'm just trying to stop white genocide from happening," because they recognize that like deep down inside, being considered a bigoted person is not a good thing, and you can't reach out to as broad an audience as possible.